Good evening, everybody, and welcome to tonight's webinar with myself, Natalie Heeley. Before we get started, can I just ask you to put your hands up to let me know that you can hear me, please? Fantastic. Okay, well, you've got me for the next 30 minutes, and I'm just going to tell you a little bit about what it takes to be successful with Forever. For those of you that don't know me, I have been with Forever now for coming up to 8 years, actually, and time has absolutely flown by. I started in May 2006. I was actually introduced through my mum, Jan Whittaker. She's been with the company for 18 years now, and she'd been talking to me about Forever for 6 years before I looked at it. So never ever give up on anybody, because it's about the time being right for people for them to join. So you're never ever going to convince anyone. My background was in marketing. I've been made redundant twice, and I was mum at home with Will, who was 2, and Rosie, who was 5 months old. And really at the time I'd lost my confidence massively, and I was just looking for a way to earn an extra £200-300 a month, because to be honest, that's probably all I thought I could do at that time. And Forever was a way for me to be able to be at home with the kids and have that little bit of extra money coming in. Yet I could see that it could also be a challenge if my confidence grew and could lead on to bigger things, because I'd seen my mum achieve them. So I started off really just wanting to have that little bit of retail income. And then 2 years later, I split up with my husband and everything changed, and I decided that I needed a better life for my kids. And the only way I was going to do that was through building my business further. So I just really got to work. It took me 2 years to get to manager. So if you're listening in this evening or at another time, and your business isn't going where you want to, or it's not going as fast as you want, then it's about your journey. Never ever compare yourself to other people, because when you're ready, you can decide to decide, and then everything takes shape. So 2 years after starting, I got to manager, and then split up with my husband and decided I wanted to make changes. And that was in 2008. And the year of 2008 to 2009, I saw incredible growth, because I literally had decided. So as a manager, I was doing 54 case credits per month, which is a very average manager business. As a manager, I like to coach my team to do 100 case credits as a very minimum, because with 100 case credits, you've got a seed bed for managers coming through, because there's enough volume there that you're going to get them coming through to create that really residual income. So 54 case credits was really just a very, very average business. But in 11 months, I grew it to 268 case credits. And that took my income from £900 to just under 4,500 with my retail income on top. It also saw me achieve car plan level 1 and level 2. It made me senior manager, and I qualified for what was the European rally at that time. We don't actually do this incentive now. We now just have the global rally, but we used to have a European one as well. So I remember making these decisions and going along to meet Jane Leach. So Jane Leach is the person who's mentored me directly. And this is very important for you guys, because Jane Leach is #1 in the UK. So you can all say you're being coached directly from the top, because Jane has taught me to get to #2. So all of our training is coming direct from the top person, and you're obviously all in my team. So I turned up at my planning meeting, and she told me to bring my goals. And my goals were huge. I had a great long list of all those things you can see on the screen, because those were all the things that I thought Jane would want me to say. So there's a message here. You've got to go along with what you want, not what you think your sponsor is expecting you to say. And on there was every incentive going on the marketing plan, from the earned incentive program, the European rally, senior manager, UK top recruiter. I wanted to speak at a success day. That's an interesting one, really, because when I started, my biggest fear was speaking. My mum actually did my first 10 product launches for me because I was too scared to do it. And yet now you'll see me at success days speaking in front of 2,000 people. So I put that down as a goal because I knew to be successful, I had to push myself massively out of my comfort zone. And that was really something that I never imagined I'd be able to do. I wanted to achieve 100 Club. So again, that 100 case credits, 100 Club is doing 100 case credits for 3 consecutive months, which is what you should be doing if you're manager and aiming for, because it's where all that growth and future stability comes from. And I also wanted to be in the top 10 open business. And I sat with Jane at this planning meeting. She said, there's so much there, Nat. You can't focus on one thing because it's just going to confuse your mind. And she said, Nat, what do you really want? And I said, well, what I really want is £4,000 a month, because I was driven by a monetary amount, because that was going to give me the choices that I needed. So remember, I'd split up with my husband and I needed to pay the bills. I needed to take on the mortgage and provide for my children. So that was going to be the income to give me the lifestyle that I wanted for my children at that time, because I've always liked holidays as well and doing all of those extra things. So she said, right, so that's what you really want. So let's put a plan into place to make it happen. And you've really got to visualize your goals. And I visualized £4,000 a month going into my bank account every single month, and how my life would change from that, what I'd be able to do with it, what it meant that I could give the kids. And every day, even though I was only earning £800, £900 at the time, I visualized myself achieving that. And that's the secret, really. Whatever your goal is, you've got to be able to see yourself achieving it right now, so that you can close your eyes and see it there. You can smell it, you can taste it, you can touch it. That's having a goal with real focus, that your mind, you won't look left, you won't look right, you'll only look straight forward. And then you'll put the work into place to make it happen. So I still am a single mum. I was living 50 miles away from any family. So I had to find a way to get out in the evenings. And that meant babysitters. I didn't have a partner at home or my parents close by to come and help me. But I never, ever once used my children as an excuse. My children were my reason to do this, not my excuse not to. So if you want something enough, what I'm saying is you'll find a way to achieve it. And I had to make the sacrifice of not being there for my children every single night. You know, when I thought about it in my head, I was actually out. They were asleep, so they didn't know any difference. And I would have rather have been there to take them to school and pick them up from school, rather than be in after school clubs like most normal parents have to do, that are working your normal 9 to 5 job. So what we do is just a little bit different to the norm. So don't put guilt on yourself, because if you want something, you'll be able to do it. What you have to do is a little bit every single day. It's called the compound effect. You can't do loads on your business 1 week and then don't touch it for 2 weeks. You've got to touch your business every single day to get the results. And you won't see big results in a month, in 3 months. You'll see them in 12 months, 3 years, and then 5 years. And I can remember John and Jane saying to me, Nat, if you touch your business every day for 5 years, you'll never, ever have to work again. For the last 5 years, I've done just that. And I've got to the point now where I can retire. I can retire on an income more than I ever dreamt possible. I actually earn more a month than I did in a year in my good job in marketing. So that's just giving you an idea of what I've done. It hasn't happened overnight. It hasn't happened in 1 year. It's happened from the compound effect of touching my business every day for 5 years. It's a little bit like losing weight. So, you know, Tina, one of my managers, a great success story. She lost 4.5 stone, but she didn't just wake up one day, go on a diet for a week and did it. She did this over 2 years of sticking to a program of losing weight. So it's a bit like if you have a McDonald's tomorrow, you're not suddenly going to be obese. But if you had a McDonald's every day for a year, 2 years, then you would be. So it's the compound effect of doing a little bit every single day. So, what is it that you actually need to do? It's so simple. You just need to really understand our business cycle. You've got to know it inside out, be able to do each aspect of it, and be able to teach it. It's not rocket science. It's literally just following the simple system and duplicating it down into your team. In my growth year, in my growth years, over the last 5 years, I've spoken to 5 people every single day. So you take them from your who do you know list. For the majority of people now, you've all got Facebook as a who do you know list. So make sure you've downloaded all of your Facebook friends. If you don't know how, just ask on one of the groups and somebody will show you. But you can literally print out all of your Facebook friends. And this list becomes ongoing. So whenever you meet people, make sure you add them to Facebook. Because I have people joining me now that have been watching me over the past 5 years. And the time wasn't right for them, whatever reason then, but they're joining me now more and more. So like I say, you're never convincing someone, but your job is here to show them. So always add them to your Facebook because it's an ongoing who do you know list. And then you're going to contact them. It might be a phone call. It might be with a quick Facebook message. It might be a text message. It might be bumping into them in the street, nipping around and seeing them. Whatever it is, whatever form of communication you use with that person normally, you need to contact them. So I would contact 5 people every single day. And I'd send them my 5-minute video. So that's what a lot of people are using right now and getting great success with. And you've got 2 options. You've got my 5-minute video, which is aimed at mums. And then you've got my 5-minute video, which is aimed at business people. Both of them are in the files on Nat's 6-month group. If you don't know where they are, then just ask your upline manager, and you can simply send it to a friend and say, I thought of you. Can you take 5 minutes to watch my friend Nat, who I'm working with, and let me know what you find most exciting? When they tell you, you're going to say, well, the next step is, can you come along to our local business presentation? Or you can send them our 40-minute recorded business presentation, but again, making sure that they know it's me speaking on there and you're working directly with me. Or you could do a home business presentation. Maybe you're going to do it with 3 or 4 friends at home, or maybe you're just going to meet your friend for a coffee and go through the business presentation. Or your upline will be doing this for you if you can't do it yourself yet. Or maybe they live at a distance and you're going to send them to their local business presentation. Just have a look in the back of the Forever magazine or go on to Forever Knowledge, and you've got a whole list of where the business presentations are. And you can phone up the meeting leader or let your upline manager do that for you and let them look after your guest. It might be from your who do you know list that you're going to invite someone along to a product launch, or you're going to ask them to host a product launch for you. You know, you should be doing at least 1 product launch for yourself every single month. And we all know loads of people, and it's just a matter of saying, hey, can you help me out? I'm starting a new business and I really need the help of my friends. Would you be able to get 6 to 10 people round one evening for a glass of wine and I can come and showcase my products? It would be doing me a massive favour. You know, like everything, if you don't ask, you won't get. So don't be afraid. The worst thing that people can say to you is no. And, you know, that's not a bad thing at all, because it always leads to a yes at some point. It might be that you're meeting them for a one-to-one. So a little quick 30-minute presentation that you're going to do, either on your iPad, on a tablet, on your laptop, or you've printed out a paper version, and you meet them for a coffee and just go through a few slides that gives an overview about the company. You can also do this online as well. And there's a recording of me in the pages, again, on how to do a one-to-one. So make sure you've watched that and you're familiar with it. The result of a business presentation is, can you see why I'm so excited? That's what you say at every stage. You say, can you see why I'm so excited, or what do you find so exciting? So the next step is to put a plan into place to get your business up and running, which is the action station, which takes about an hour and a half to do a planning meeting. And you're going to write that person's who do you know list, or help them write it. And then all we do is we take people round and round and round this business cycle. So that's all I've done for the last 7 years. If I told you, if you spoke to 5 people every single day for 5 years, like I have actually, I haven't done it for 7 years because I was just playing to begin with. So for 5 years, if I told you, if you spoke to 5 people every single day, you'd be able to retire on an income that you never dreamt possible, then would you do it? Because that's all it is. 5 people a day brings freedom your way. But you're only going to do this if you know why you're doing it. And that goes back to having that vision that I was talking about, that reason that's going to drive you, the reason that will make you not make excuses, whether you're working full time, whether you've got children that you're trying to fix it round. If you know what you're doing, it will always, always be a priority. So what sort of activity do I do and have I done for the past 5 years? As I said, always do a product launch for yourself at least every single month. And you're always meeting people when you're doing tabletops or baby groups or out contact marketing, or you've done a one-to-one and that person maybe isn't interested. Just say, can you do me a favor? Can you get some friends together? Incentivize them to do it for you. Offer them 30% off the products, offer them free products for doing it, whatever it is you want to do to incentivize them. But every time you do a product launch, you're generating that retail business, but you're also getting a whole room of people to add to your who do you know list. And there'll always be 1 or 2 people that are interested in the business. I've always advertised as well in the type of magazines that come back in kids' school bags, because I was very much aiming my business at the mum at home. So that was great for recruiting. I also worked my who do you know list every single day, and not one person on this call can ever get to the end of their who do you know list. How do I know that? Because after 7 years, I still haven't reached the end of mine, because you're constantly revisiting people. But make sure you've got it all written out, because you'll totally lose track if you don't. Networking meetings, absolutely fantastic for meeting people. They're all business people after referrals, and that's exactly what we do. Our business is based on referrals. So I used to go to women's network meetings. There's lots of these happening about. Just Google for them. Once you go to one, you can ask people about others and you'll be recommended to others. They might be breakfast clubs, they might be once a week, they might be once a month, but whatever it is, make sure you go every single week, because again, it's about that compound effect. You won't necessarily get results right away. Carding, 300 cards I put out every single week, and I would put them through letterboxes, and I'd put them through letterboxes of houses I'd like to do launches in, not houses that I thought needed money. There's a bit of a difference there. You can put them through again and again each week, because it's just about being repetitive. I used to go to the train station and give them out at rush hour, morning and evening. If someone's had a bad day, they're likely to look at it and give you a call. Events, absolutely fantastic. Wherever you're doing tabletops, whether it's wedding fairs, health and beauty, toddler groups, wherever there's people, because again, they all tend to be business owners. So make sure you speak to the other people that have got tables there, as well as the people coming through the door. Facebook, we're all using that effectively. It's now become our primary tool for building our business. So make sure you've watched the Facebook training in the pages on how to use it effectively, because it is absolutely incredible for helping you build that team. And then it's about being a leader. So as soon as you've got one person in your team, you are a leader, and you've got to lead by example. Always do your 4 case credits and always teach your team to do that. It's the habit of success, and that's what we always want to be. Never tell your team to do something. It's a matter of showing them what you're doing yourself. And, you know, the leader is always going to be at the front of the pack. So never ask people to do what you're not prepared to do yourself. That's the difference between those that are successful and those that aren't. Successful people will do what the unsuccessful are not prepared to. Make sure you're at every business presentation every single week, because that's your night in the office. It teaches you, it gives you confidence, and it really remotivates you every single week, and your business presentation needs you. Start putting yourself forward to do testimonials and to present at the business presentation, because again, this will really help your business grow. And make sure you're doing yourself a team sizzle. So whether you've got 1, 2 people, get together on a regular basis and share ideas, because building a team and enthusiasm, a place where everyone feels recognised, people are less likely to leave because they're getting that friendship, that team spirit, that motivation. And we've got loads of ideas on how to do sizzles. So just let your upline manager know, and we can help you there. And also, you know, start running a rolling training as soon as you're assistant manager or above, or maybe, you know, even a supervisor. You're going to be running those as well, depending on your confidence. And the cream always rises to the top. Planning meetings. You know, you've got to do a planning meeting with a new person within 48 hours of them starting, when that excitement is there to help them get going. And again, you are going to plan them to supervisor. Well, you'll plan them to manager, but be helping them specifically to get to supervisor straight away. Now, you can't expect anybody to plan someone to supervisor if they haven't done it themselves. So here, if you're recruiting someone and maybe they've recruited 2 or 3 people, but they're not yet supervisor, you need to be leading the way and doing those planning meetings until your team member is supervisor, and then they can plan that team, because we can never plan someone to do something that we haven't achieved ourselves. You're always going to have an A team and a B team. You know, my A team are the people that do their 4 case credits. They're listening into our webinars. They go to their local business presentation every week, and they go to the success days. That's how I choose the people that I work with, because I don't have enough time to be working with everyone. But anyone can come from the B team into the A team simply by doing those things. If I'm working with someone and they're not doing the 4 case credits, or we're doing a planning meeting and they're not putting into place the things that we suggest and they've agreed to do, then they are going to move into that B team, because you've got to prioritise your team. And I let everybody know this in a planning meeting, what I expect, because they've joined you to ask you to help them join the business. So you've got to put those expectations down straight away. So what happened that year? Well, I hit my goal of £4,000, and that goal of £4,000 gave me all those other things that I was looking for anyway. So having that one clear focus gave me the car plan, it gave me senior manager, it gave me chairman's bonus, it gave me the European rally. So clearly having one big goal is going to deliver all the smaller things on the marketing plan anyway. So let's fast forward 5 years now, and you can see the result of that year in 2008, where I developed those 2 managers by the end of it. So 2009, 2 frontline managers making me senior manager. And this picture really shows you the effect of working your business every single day for 5 years, because you can see the managers appearing. So we had another 2 in 2010. We had 5 in 2011. We had 9 in 2012 and 41 in 2013, along with 8 senior managers and 4 soaring managers. So absolutely incredible. And I never ever started this business imagining this would happen. But it's given me the chance now to retire. I'm 37 and I never need to work again if I don't wish to. I can still put both of my kids through a private education. This year I'm going on 10 holidays, live in a beautiful house. I'm not telling you this to impress you, but to impress upon you just what's possible if you work your business seriously for 5 years. You know, it's up to you. We all have the same choice, the same tools. There's nothing special about me. I just didn't want to deny my kids an amazing lifestyle, and they've driven me to achieve all of this. What's unique about us is we build above average managers. It's not just about me achieving, all the team are achieving too. You know, this year we've got 12 chairman's bonus qualifiers. I hope you're all going to be coming to the O2 on May the 1st and the 2nd to the global rally, because it will inspire you no end and show you just what's possible by building a business with Forever when 20,000 people from around the world are attending our global chairman's bonus event. All of our managers, we've got over half a dozen now earning over £10,000 per month. We've got 80 plus managers within the team, so that's between 1 and 3,000 a month. And I know this year, you know, that's going to grow and grow again, because if the time is right in Forever, it's right now. So you've just got to have that clear focus and don't deny yourself of achieving all of these amazing things. So where are we now? Number 2 in the UK. You know, again, I never even set this as a goal. I've just literally been doing the activity, putting my head down and making it happen for my kids. They're my total inspiration. And Sapphire Manager. So what Sapphire Manager means, it means you've helped 9 people direct get to that manager level. This gives you a 1% pay rise, so it's your first pay rise since going manager. Now on 9 lines of managers, you're looking at an extra £20,000 per year on top of your very good income already. So for me, my 2 kids in private school, that Sapphire Manager pin symbolises for me that their education is going to be paid for by that 1% pay rise for the rest of their life. And all I've done is touch my business every single day for 5 years. You know, if you work in a job for 5 years, ask yourself if you were in much of a different position to where you were 5 years ago, or if you have got to the point where you can totally retire at still a very young age. You know, that's the difference with Forever, and that whole business is willable. So to finish off this evening, you know, I just want you to think for yourself, what are you prepared to sacrifice in the short term to have an amazing future? Because we've all got to give something up to be able to get to where we want. And it's up to you to make those choices, those decisions of where you want to go and how much you want it. Because if you want it enough, you'll never ever make excuses, and you'll put the work in place to make it happen. You know, if I said to you, your job description was to speak to 5 people a day to earn £40,000 per month within 12 months, then you'd go away and do that, I'm very sure. And then it would grow from there. And that literally is your job description: 5 people a day. Invite 5 people a day to look at our amazing business opportunity, and follow up. I wish you a fantastic evening, fantastic future. And if you need help making your plans, then just speak to your upline or your upline manager, and we'll be able to help you put that into place. Good evening, everybody. Bye. Bye-bye.